chắc lưu một chủng niên mà rồi lục lôi tế lục lệ lý đá bong chai bà ra mà chia đồng bóng ấy cứ xong chuẩn bị chơi lục rất kịp bắn để lục lọc miền bọt bị sọt tràn mà khi này chăm chạp ra nơi năm một quan của bộ rồi cái sập bay cứ lục ban non là có phép dùn mà bà rắn một là phép dùn bọt thì đồng bông kia nó không về đặc biệt chia là chăm chế bằng to pi nó bọt mai của hòn mà thì trong các bạn cho room và lục càng như người lục đấy xong chỉ ta khi ban ở và lục nó bị say phép dùn bọt tiền tràn đôi xa để sao lục rất thích bạn mà quạt bán bạc này khi không bị say phép dùn kháng như thế mà chân sông trên mình sạc mà miền sông miền Sam bây giờ bọt bị sao không ca hiện khi thật có bọt để coi đặt tuôn video mà thật kịp dùng sông
คุณแล้วยี่สูบยมกล้ามันยมเจ็ดเลยจำได้ยังไง
จำนั้นค่ะตามบอทไปเศร้าหรือบอทบองสมัยบองหาลูกหรือบอทบอทหาบองมาบอทไปเศร้าหรือบองขนมกาผลิตกิจยุนปลัวแห่งต่างท่ากรุ๊ปสายกิจยุนหรือบอทอ๋อคือกราวมกาผลิตตุนวิญญาณปีแต่ก็บอทเลยมาบอทไปเศร้าขนมกาเตะเตียงขนมกาอย่างไม่อย่างใบไอกีบานบอทตุนวิญญาณจังหวะยืนขนมกาผลิตกิจยุน
ពេលគេចង់មកទីមួយយើងត្រូវមានសេណារីយ៉ូល្អអត់មានសេណារីយ៉ូល្អគេមិននិយាយយកលុយមកបោះបង់ទេពេលអ្នកណាគេយកលុយមកវីដេអូគេចង់បានមិនណាក៏រួចខ្លួនដែរជាចាំបាច់រួចខ្លួនបានតទៅមុខទៀតចឹងពេលការបកសតរបស់ខ្ញុំវាមិនដូចជាសម័យនេះទេវា25ឆ្នាំ30ឆ្នាំហើយឥឡូវគេមានពីនឹងជំនាន់នោះអត់មាន streaming អត់មានអីទេនោះមានតែរោងកុនតែកាលនោះពេលខ្ញុំចាប់ដើមភ្លាមខ្ញុំមានយល់ថាដើម្បីតាក់ទាញគេមកត្រូវមានស្អីមួយសំខាន់ហើយគេមកនោះគេមិនមកចូល studio ភ្លាមទេគេមកចង់ឃើញស្រែឃើញឃើញប្រាសាទឃើញអីហ្នឹងឃើញស្ទឹងអីហ្នឹងគេមកគេមើលចង់ចូលឃើញហ្នឹងដែរអញ្ចឹងស្អីដែលនៅខាងក្រៅក្នុង studio គេគ្រប់បានយើងអាចរកផ្ទះអ្វីឲ្យគេថតបានក៏តែចំនួននោះវាពិបាកដែរយើងអត់សូវមានអីអញ្ចឹងទៅវាអត់មានអីជាកក់ក្ដៅអញ្ចឹងបានខ្ញុំចាប់ដើមទី1ស្វែងយល់តើគេមកហ្នឹងគេរយគិតអីមានស្រែមានអីមានមកកណោហើយអីបានជាគេមកមានស្អីខ្លះទៅទាញមកស្រុកខ្មែរបានតែដល់គិតមើលទៅយល់ថាស្អីដែលមានតម្លៃជាងគេបំផុតដែលទាញគេមកស្រុកខ្មែរគឺខ្មែរយើងគឺប្រជាជនខ្មែរយើងរបៀបដែលយើងធ្វើការរបៀបដែលយើងទំនាក់ទំនងជាមួយគេរបៀបដែលយើងមានថាអ្នក technician ខ្មែរយើងអ្នកបច្ចេកទេសខ្មែរយើងរស់រាយភាគច្រើនហើយសង្កេតមើលទៅគឺអ្នកកណាគេមកថតម្ដងហើយជួនកាលគេមកលេងស្រុកខ្មែរថែមទៀតគេមានមិត្តភាពគេចង់មិត្តភាពគ្នាបានអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំថាទៅធ្វើស្អីមួយឲ្យមានកើតមានអ្នកបច្ចេកទេសខ្មែរច្រើនឡើងហើយអញ្ចឹងទៅចំណងហ្នឹងខ្ញុំថាបើចង់ឲ្យគេមកដែលយើងមានស្អីមួយដើម្បីឲ្យគេមើលទៅឃើញខ្មែរចំនួនមុនមិនខ្មែរចំនួននេះមិនខ្មែរចឹងទៅបានខ្ញុំសូមបង្កើតមជ្ឈមណ្ឌលលោកផាណាយើងមានឯកសារហ្មងចឹងណាគេទៅគណៈមកស្រុកខ្មែរចង់ទៅរឿងចំនួនឆ្នាំ60ទសវត្ស60យើងមានឯកសារមើលកៅអៅមិនដេកូគេសុំមិនអ្នកគេចង់ចូលរឿងនន់ហើយផងគេមើលទៅមានកៅអៅមិនជាទីតាំងមិនគេលើកទំនប់មិនមានទាំងអស់ចឹងយើធ្វើកណាអ្នកខ្លះគេមកគេរកឯកសារមើលឃើញជឿមានអស់នៅនេះហើយវាស្រួលចឹងទៅគាត់តែគេមើលឯកសារហើយចង់ធ្វើសម័យលន់សម័យឥឡូវហ្នឹងឯហ្នឹងគេគាត់ហៅអ្នកមេប៉ុសយកម្ដងមេគេគាត់ថាnóiខ្ញុំចង់បានកៅអៅចេះខ្ញុំចង់និយាយហើយស្រួលយល់គ្នាអញ្ចឹងយើងបានធ្វើនឹងមួយដល់ហើយវាអត់ត្រង់គ្រប់ទេតែមិនចំនួនហ្នឹង nhưng bạn không dồn bộ hàng AFD Agent Français pour Développement nữa cái training cái này như bạn dùng thử bạn đấy số vị trí này thử thiên nó mà làm rồi nè technique nhé nè chạy cắt ấy nó do tăng bị chung ca nè là kia chia chôn những miền là thực hiện mới sẵn khá là chỉ quát chỉ creative quát artist là từ phum na sống đó thì miền này chạy thử để có chạy thử chơi chạy ấy plong cái loại ấy đúng không chẳng bây giờ việc chọn nó khá là nè màu riêng nó khang xe lắm ấy nó khá là chúng ta việc chọn nè chạy thực tế phượng tỏ phượng giống như mà thường mà thường phượng mình còn nè là phát thưa sầm nong nó xiêm riêng nó dùng như mất riêng quan việc thưa sầm nong ấy sầm nong nó không có những ai những thử đọ từ bầu ban đọ trang ban ấy bán á hay thử từ mấy ỏi miên ai chờ tuôn một nư sáng sụp nè nư là tẹt tôm nó nâng của mọi tuôn của mọi bát trong cái quạt thưa bạn tăng vì rương nè sai mong muốn kế của bạn giờ sự miền nước hay giống tay nát trong vô nè chạy tới Khmer vô mà thử ruộng tăng vì đàm hay tí giống xa nè trong thứ bán trong thử thì phải xa Khmer được không chỉ nói năng việc xe nói năng việc mình đối sắp ngay ai thử ấy các bạn đấy vì sai các bạn đấy vì audience dương nè tôi sẽ chọn dương mình phải coi bị nông nói nóng đôi dương thực tranh vì máy mà vòng lươn đây nữa vì là lúc sao đi chán chạy tại trong thứ mấy là miền phía xa dương cả mà vinh nhồi chơi nhà xe bạc coi dương ruột làng vinh dương tham miền thay dương miền lật thiệp nằng dây nằng lên bán cái này dương miền dương dây bán dương lên được khảo bán dương thư mi dòng sàn bán này dương ruột về nhà lúc ra thì dương slap lúc ra dương kia chạy mười ngoài khóm dương ắt thế là chạy chẳng tới ấy cái đó để không creation không làm việc giấy đây vì mình một nạp phiệp đó là bậc thoại nhất chung sừng vạt vô màu sừng vạt ấy chỗ đó các biến miền ca thấy on đấy để chặt đám thứ tẹt tôm nó nư lăng bán chất sáng tôm đấy mình quay cả lum đấy luôn nó đấy là ơn bán lan thọt bán chẳng tăng vì nóng máu là ai chặt tiền cái màu bán ai ở cái mực bán quay dương mà cái nồi dương chạy lên được khao nó chạy lên con nhưng chạy thọt thành tích tới là bàn mà cầm ta lỡ việc xây mới tiệt tới miền Bắc Hà xây với thì vua việc từ chia cho nó việc toàn miền này globalization chẳng thế toàn global thêm toàn streaming thế chẳng về của bạn giang cái xuân giang lỡ đi technique xuân chiêm với digital lươn cầm tay của bác với dân miền nạc chôm nạc tiếp xa về xã hà đây là nơi tiếp xa miền núi tràn châu chẳng thưa mấy ở miền say con những nơi không tiếp xa nấm rồi những chuối nó đòi hàng bọc rạ chuối ban quạt sừng vạt những đơn là quạt sừng vạt chỉ muối trong cái máu đòi những cắt bùn là cái nhà lùi bạn mùi phía rồi lúc mà dương từ hai bạn nữa máu cái quan tham nhà lùi từ đó dương vô bạn mùi phía rồi chọn bạn ăn tuần bạn thọt có nó bạn mùi phía rồi bà đời chẳng bà nên làm gì tam thoáng ấy nè không đâm tiết tục nhôm gì lắm ai bạn mùi phía rồi nó giảm mòn cầm tá dương cua phải dùl rừng nắng hàng cả xuông cua dùl bên cả xuông bạc thoa xuông lùi cua phải dùl rừng nắng bị của khi mà ông đó nó thì trái sớm chừng là 10% nữa thì bí của nó cắt ở bây giờ thế đừng cháu ấy máu vì cả máu thọt tăng vì tinh tăng vì vào đây chuột hốt chỗ đó không restaurant thấy càng nghiệp của lừa dương họ chẳng vì miền ca trên đánh tràn chết trên đánh tràn mình hot đại thông sủng khăn hot tại dương nơi không tì xả những ai cũng đang không tì xả dương ai nên lực xa ăn ra triệt cái này miền cấn tránh nó miền đây thá miền start miền sẽ thay biết miền pleu đá miền sòng thì sọc miền sòng thì biết miền cam nương nọ ấy usaha cam cấn ស្អប់ណាស់ស្អីដែលអត់មានសេរីភាពស្អីដែលមានសន្តិសុខស្អីដែលភ័យខ្លាចចេញយប់អីដើរខ្លាចគេប្លន់ខ្លាចគេវាយខ្លាចគេបាញ់អីហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងកាលណាយើងបានគុណមួយមកវាល្អជាងអត់បានអីល្អច្រើនលើសពីរឿងលុយអាហ្នឹងយើងចំណេញមួយទៀតខ្ញុំគាត់ឲ្យឧទាហរណ៍មួយព្រោះយើងធ្លាប់បានទទួលគាត់មកថតនាងស៊ូលីមកថតគាត់នៅហ្នឹងនៅចាំងហ្នឹងនៅមើលហ្នឹងតែថ្ងៃមួយនោះពេលកូវីដនេះគេបាត់ទ្វារទាំងអស់យើងអត់មានណាមកទេគាត់មកគាត់ទៅមើលអង្គរគាត់ទៅផ្សារទួលពុងអ្វីដែលគាត់មិនដែលធ្វើគាត់ទៅផ្សារទួលពុងគាត់ជិះតុកគាត់ឈប់តាមចានខ្នល់អាហារស្រស់ស្រូបខ្ញុំថាគាត់ចង់ជួយយើងអីគាត់គេថតគេហោះក្នុងសកលលោកពេញហ្នឹងគាត់ចឹងគាត់មិនមែនតែរឿងគាត់មួយគាត់ដល់មានតួមានអ្នកវំពាក្យមានអ្នកជួយការពារយើងមានសាររបស់គាត់នោះសាមញ្ញទេគាត់ថាបើខ្ញុំតារាឯកខ្ញុំហ៊ានមកមិនណែហ៊ានមកលេងស្រុកមកតែគាត់មានតាក់ទាញដោយឧស្សាហកម្មខាងទេសចរទៅខាងកន្លែងរបស់យើងនៅក្នុងអាស៊ានហើយបើសិនជាគិតទៅប្រទេសផ្សេងដូចប្រទេសថៃប្រទេសម៉ាឡេស៊ីគេឲ្យលុយយើងទៀតបើសិនជាយើងមកថតជួយមកជួយជាប្រេងជួយជាលុយជួយជាស្អីមកជួយច្រើនណាអញ្ចឹងធ្វើម៉េចឲ្យដល់យើងជួយគ្រប់គ្រងបន្តិចហើយបើតាមមើលទៅយើងមាន talent ច្រើនណាឃើញ short film យើងនៅគ្រប់កន្លែងចេញមកគ្រប់កន្លែងតែ talent យើងមានច្រើនណាហើយបើខ្ញុំប្រទេសយើងទូចហ្នឹងមិនដែរហ្នឹងមិនធំហ្មងតែដូចជាគាត់ហ្នឹងវាផើងល្អដូចវាមានស្អីមួយដាំទឹកដោះអញ្ចឹងទៅខ្ញុំថាគួរណាស់តែយើងសុំឲ្យគេជួយយើងឲ្យទលំទលាយបន្តិចដើម្បីឲ្យមិនបាច់ជួយលុយទេគ្រាន់ជួយកាត់តាក់បានណាវានឹងដូចជួយលុយយើងកាត់តាក់ចោលនឹងអត់លុយចំណេញលើយើងណាហើយធ្វើម៉េចឲ្យ process ហ្នឹងធ្វើបានទៅវិញនឹងប្រហែលជាបានជោគជ័យធំហើយការបដិសោធន៍របស់ខ្ញុំឯង
បាទសូមអរគុណបងរិទ្ធិដែលគាត់បានមានភាសាគាត់ខ្មែរដោយបងមានភាសាអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំនៅចាំសម្ដីក្រុមរដ្ឋក្រុមការងារបរទេសមួយដែលគាត់មកថតគាត់នៅស្រុកយើងហើយយើងបានណែនាំភោជនីយដ្ឋានខាង Western ដើម្បីគាត់ទទួលទានអាហារប៉ុន្តែសម្ដីដែលគាត់និយាយបកវិញគាត់ថាគាត់មកពីស្រុកគាត់មកស្រុកខ្មែរគាត់ចង់ភ្លុកអាហារខ្មែរអញ្ចឹងគុំណែនាំភោជនីយដ្ឋាន Western ឲ្យគាត់ចង់ហូបអាហារខ្មែរភោជនីយដ្ឋានខ្មែរគាត់ចង់ស្គាល់ពី culture ខ្មែរអញ្ចឹងដូចបងមានភាសាអញ្ចឹងគឺគេចង់ដឹងស្អីពីខ្មែរស្អីពីរបស់ខ្មែរដើម្បីគេមកថតក្នុងស្រុកខ្មែរ
បាទនោះសំដៅយើងមានអាមុខត្រីមានអីបន្លែហ្នឹងគេតែខ្ញុំចង់និយាយមួយថាយើងភាសាបានមកដល់សប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃហ្នឹងភាសាមានលឺអ្នកដែលខ្ញុំបានមានសំណាងដែលនៅចិត្តគាត់ឲ្យបានគាត់ជួយខ្ញុំច្រើននឹងការយល់សពដើម្បីឲ្យមានឧស្សាហកម្មកុនធំហ្នឹងដំបូងគឺបំផុតខ្ញុំឮមកពីលោកតាបណ្ណាការគាត់ស្លាប់ទៅបាត់ហើយគាត់ទៅបាត់ហើយតែគាត់ជាបុរសម្នាក់ដែលគួរណាស់តែយើងនឹកឃើញគាត់ពេលដែលគាត់ចង់ទំនុកបំរុងគាត់អ្នកបងគេថាត្រូវចង់ឲ្យគេមកថតដល់យើងអប់រំអ្នក technician យើងអ្នកចែកទេសយើងខំសម្រាប់ឡើងកុំចោលក្មេងអញ្ចឹងគាត់និយាយចឹងរហូតអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវរំលឹកដល់គាត់ខ្លះគឺពេលយើងមិនមកដល់សប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃនេះដោយសារខ្លួនឯងយើងទេយើងមកមានមនុស្សចាស់ទុំចំនួនដើមដែរគឺនៅក្នុងយើងមានtrongលោកតាបណ្ណាការគាត់ជាអ្នកពិសេសមួយបងម៉ៅយុទ្ធបងអីសិតតែអ្នកពិសេសមួយ
បាទសូមអរគុណបាទឥឡូវសូមងាកមកលោកតែលុយបាទលោកជាផលិតករនៃផលិតកម្មកងចាក់ Picture បាទសូមស្វាគមន៍មកកាន់វេទិកានេះសូមឲ្យលោកជួយចែករំលែកបទពិសោធន៍ការងាររបស់លោកដែលបានផលិតខ្សែភាពយន្តមួយចំនួនហើយបានទៅដល់ Netflix ដូចជារឿង Jailbreak ហើយនឹងរឿងមួយទៀតដូចជារឿង The Prey ដែលលោកបានសហការផលិតជាមួយផលិតករបរទេសនិងរឿងទី3មួយទៀតខ្ញុំភ្លេចចំណងជើងទៅ ណាលោកបានទទួលជោគជ័យច្រើននៅក្នុងការនេះហើយចង់ឲ្យលោកចង់សួរលោកថាតើមុនពេលដែលលោកផលិតខ្សែភាពយន្តលោកមានគំនិតថាធ្វើដើម្បីលក់ទៅ Netflix តាម topic ស្អីដែល Netflix គេចង់បានឬមួយក៏ Netflix ទិញខ្សែភាពយន្តរបស់លោកដោយចែកដន្យឬក៏លោកមានគំនិតថាធ្វើដើម្បីចូលទីផ្សារអន្តរជាតិតាំងពីដំបូងមកបាទ
Okay. First of all, let me Hello. Sorry. First of all, let me apologize as I'll be answering in English, as my Khmer is not fluent enough. But yes, as you mentioned, like about 5 years ago, Contract Pictures, we were the first production to sell the film to Netflix for international, and it was a big achievement for us. But to answer the question, we never planned for it. We didn't make Jailbreak thinking, this is gonna go to Netflix, we're doing it for them. We never thought the film would go out of Cambodia, to be honest. When we started that film, it was, the actual goal is we wanted to make an action film that promotes Bokator. Bokator, as you know, is the local martial arts. We wanted to do something to promote that because we thought the story behind is very interesting, how it almost disappeared, and we have to contribute to bringing it to be popular again so that our culture can survive. And that's what started Jailbreak. Along the way, I guess the film had a lot of different elements of excitement, of fun, of interest that when we released our trailer to release for Cambodia, some festivals from outside contacted us. We had, I remember the first one was Udini Far East Film Festival. They messaged us on Facebook and they said, hey, can we see the film? The trailer looks so fun, we want to see the film. We were surprised. We showed them the screener, they watched the film, they're like, cool, we want to invite you to come to screen the film in Italy in a few months. We were laughing, we thought it was a joke, because when you start working in cinema and if you don't really know about festivals are Cannes, Toronto, Locarno, Venice or Berlin. These are the big festivals and you dream of it and you think only Puriti has the chance to go to these festivals. He's the VIP. Our films are not made for that. What we find out at that time is there are thousands of festivals around the world, and these festivals that focus on different genre film. There's festivals for horror, festivals for documentary, festivals for action film, fantasy, and other. So at that time, we were invited to this festival. We went there. When we were there, we met programmers from so many other festivals. And from there and on, we went to over 40 festivals around the world. And they were flying us out. We brought the actors. The actors were performing Bokator, and it was an amazing experience for us. But again, we had never planned for any of this. The one thing we did plan is, when we started that project, we had one model in mind. There's a film that's always been referred as our main reference called The Raid from Indonesia. It's a film that released, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago now. And at that time, it was the first film in Indonesia to promote Pencak Silat, which is the martial arts from Indonesia. So that's what they did. And when they did this film, it got really, actually, they did the first film called Merando, I think, which got very famous, very popular. And then this US producer picked up and he produced The Raid with the same team. They went on to do The Raid 2 as well. Those are, the second one was million budget dollar films and it went on to distribute worldwide as well. Of course, it was a reference. We're doing the first action film for Cambodia about this. It's similar to their model. Hell, for the fun of it, let's send an email to that producer. Just, hey, we love what you did. We're doing something. We'd love if you can have a look. Let us know what you think. So we sent him an email. We've never met him. We didn't know him. He loved the film and he offered us a deal. It turns out this producer called Todd Brown, he has a company called XYZ Films. They are an international distributor and sales agent. So because they know action, they've sold action before, they're like, here's the deal. will represent your film, sign with us, will be your sales agent, and will bring you to more festivals. We'll try to release in the US, we'll try to release around the world. And that's when the conversation started with them. Again, at this point, we were like, oh, this is exciting, this is cool. We only released in Cambodia so far. We're asking some friends in Thailand that we know through distribution, can you help us release our Khmer film? Can you support? It's not so easy. We go to Hong Kong Film Art, I try to sell myself, and people are like, oh, Cambodia film, wow, so interesting, but have you ever sold movies outside? No. There's no Cambodia films that's sold outside. So no one can check the numbers and be like, yeah, this movie can earn this money. So no one wants to take the chance. Because they're like, we don't know about Cambodia. We know, actually, they do. A lot of the distributors I met at that time, they knew Puriti's films. They knew the documentaries on S21, they knew the work being done there. But they didn't know about the fiction work that features were producing. So every country we were talking to, even though they loved the film, they were afraid they couldn't sell it. And this brought us to a few months later again, we were in Cannes. I was at the Cannes film market trying to sell the film, trying to meet other producers. And at that point, my sales agent calls me and he says, Netflix just watched the film, they love it, they want to take it, what do you think? And that's what happened. And of course I said yes. Afterwards, there was a long process, but at that moment, that was it. I said, yes, of course, it would be amazing. And he's like, cool, come meet me at this place. We went there, we had some drinks. We talked a bit the details and something. What actually happened is that XYZ is a very famous distributor worldwide. They do a lot of films. They're famous for action and horror film. They are what we call a Netflix sales partner, meaning they have a direct contact. They find films they like, they package them together and they're like, here are 5 films I think that you should buy. Netflix says yes, or they say no, and then they negotiate. We came under that deal. They packaged us with, I didn't know the title, but I remember there were 2 Indonesian action films, 1 Hong Kong, and I forgot what was the 4th one. But we were part of this package that was pushed to Netflix and they bought it. And that was it. So to answer the question, how do you sell to Netflix? You don't. I don't get to sell it, just like I don't get to sell anyone else's film. You have to go through the channels, you have to go through the process, and the best way is going through a sales agent who has that connection. And they can work out a deal, they have relations, they know how much Netflix buys films, they know how much they can sell it for you. If you're going alone, let's say it can happen. You have an amazing film, right? Netflix watches it, you send them an email, they watch it, they love it, they buy it. They're gonna offer you a price. You're gonna be excited to sell and you're gonna say, okay, yes, done deal. But you have no idea how much you just got cheated. Maybe you got underpaid like by 10 times. They offer you 20K, it's worth 2 million maybe, who knows? So the sales agents are the way to go at it. They know numbers, they know how it's being done, and they're the best way to get in. But then it brings another question, because I think this question, how to sell to Netflix, I think for the past 5 years, everyone I meet always asks me that. It's probably the top 1 question anyone has ever asked me. And with time, I've realized that you need to reverse the question. Why should Netflix buy your film? It's not about how can you sell, it's why should they buy your film? What does your film have that they can sell on their channel? I almost want to say there's millions of films that exist and are being done every year, being sold. Not everyone can just email them and try to sell. Your film has to have something that matches what they are looking for. The same question is being asked, and it's a shame that Davi isn't here today, is Davishu's films have also been really popular. They went to major distribution. The recent ones with White Building and Back to Seoul, Return to Seoul, sorry, are getting worldwide distribution deals. Why isn't he selling to Netflix as well? And I don't know the answer to that one, but what I think is, again, why should Netflix buy those films? How does it fit into Netflix catalog? And that is probably the biggest question we all have to ask ourselves. When we're making a film, who are you making your film for? If you're making a film for the local audience and we're following local jokes, trending thing that's relevant culturally, locally, if Netflix buys it and puts it on their platform, who's gonna go watch the film? If there's no views on it, why should they buy it? And that's the biggest gamble for Netflix, but it's the case for any distributor, right? And I do think that when they picked Jailbreak, it was a big gamble for them. I think at that time, because we did a lot of festivals, we won some awards, they were excited and they were curious, and they're like, cool, let's try it out, let's do it. But we haven't had another film on it since. After that happened, we produced The Prey. The Prey, which was a much bigger budget than Jailbreak. We had Thai and Chinese actor. It was a very big scale action film, technically. The Prey didn't get onto Netflix. I tried. We presented it. We had the same sales agent. Todd Brown, XYZ Film, same thing. They presented it again to Netflix, and this time Netflix said no. They said they were not interested in the film. A couple of years after, I produced Young Love. Obviously, it's a much more local film. It's about local youth, Cambodian teenagers. I cannot use that sales agent. They don't do teenage romance comedy. I have to find another sales agent, another distributor. We tried some, a few people were interested, but no one that had the connection to try and sell it to Netflix. So the deal never happened. So to summarize, there is no right answer. How do you sell to Netflix? You have to go through the process. You have to do everything you can to make sure that you're doing a story that's relevant for the world, because Netflix is a world audience. And until Netflix comes and opens a Cambodia office and focus on us, like they're doing recently with Thailand and Indonesia, we won't have a direct access to make it that easy. It'll probably change, and I think that this is something where the whole industry together have to come together and collaborate. I think we're on a good track. If I'm looking at just this last few years' events, there are so many short films and features that are getting attention worldwide. Recently, there's a lot of short film from also Chanrado, which is in the hall, but also from Lipolen. Their short films are traveling everywhere in the world. They're getting awards. This is putting a spotlight on Cambodia, and it's giving the world trust that Cambodia production can do quality content that can travel. And we need that. The more films like that, just like Lidasium, The Clock had the chance to co-produce with Myanmar. You've got some, I think the last one was Indonesia, was it? You just released in Indonesia? Okay, in progress. So